Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. This one's going to be super fun. We are going to be buying the rear differential from the hybrid car and swapping it into this car. What that's going to do is give us shorter gearing. It's going to give us more torque throughout the entire power band, so this car should perform a little bit better. And hint, hint, stay tuned, it definitely does. I have a draggy. We're going to be doing 0 to 60s. We're going to be doing 45 to 120s, 60 to 130s, comparing the numbers, showing how much time we can cut off with this new hybrid differential. So it's going to be a really fun video. I'm going to do the bloopers, the not so good runs, the good runs. I'm going to show labor pricing because I got this done at the dealership, so it did cost a little extra than getting it done at a third-party shop. Other than that, disclaimer, I live at a higher elevation, 2,800 feet. During this testing, the density altitude was anywhere from 3,800, almost 3,900 to 4,300 feet. So 0 to 60 performance-wise, it's not going to meet that 4.4. I also don't have 93 octane, which the engines were tuned for. So we have something closer to 89 octane. So yeah, just keep that in mind while we're going through this. Let's not care about the 0 to 60s. Let's care about the difference in times that we're getting on the 45 to 120s and the 60 to 130s. All right, guys, we are out here. It's about 72, 73 degrees right now. Very nice. Draggy says our elevation right now is 2,454 feet and our density altitude is pretty much 4,000 feet. So yes, we're not going to expect the best times, but we're going to do what we can with the conditions that we have. And for the Lexus people who know about this stuff, my knock correction learning value before 4,000 RPMs is 20 and above 4,000 RPMs is 19. All right, so this is a test of running through the gears with the OEM diff. All right, this is an acceleration with the hybrid diff. Yeah, so it's super cool to see the mile per hour difference between the two differentials. Super weird to see that in fifth gear on the stock diff at 119 miles per hour, we were at 5,000 RPMs. On the hybrid diff, when we were at 119 miles per hour, we were at 7,000 RPMs. So that's a super big difference right there. And if you go back and look at the second gear pull on the hybrid diff, it is super fast. Well, enough of this. Let's get to the draggy runs. All right. Ready? Oh yeah, that's better. So, let's go 1,500. We'll engine brake to like 1,300. All right, doing a 60 to 130 run now. What's up guys, welcome back. It's 2:40 a.m. We're out here ready to do our hybrid differential performance runs. I've done my 1,000 miles. I did it in about 7 days. Right now the conditions aren't as good as they were when we did the runs with the stock rear differential. So we'll take that with a grain of salt. It's about 5 degrees hotter. The density altitude is also about 600 feet higher as well. A little brake boost to 1500. Yeah, so definitely had to abort that one. That was nothing but wheel spin. Yeah, this is gonna be very hard to launch that 0 to 60. About to do run 3. Brake boost a little bit, and let's do it. Still, just lots of spinning off the line. Whoa! But that 45 to 120, that's the fastest we've been so far. So 0 to 60, 5.25 with spinning, traction on. 45 to 120, 12.2. 20. Oh, that was a good launch. That launch wasn't bad. I don't know if it was getting to 4 seconds good, but that was a pretty solid launch. All right, let's check the numbers. Nice, yeah. 0 to 60, 4.99. Maybe I need to start launching from there. Ooh, 45 to 120. We broke into the 11, so 11.9. 60 to 130, 13.29. Nice, got even better 45 to 120. Now we're at 11.96. So chopped off even more time. Which probably comes to a little bit better shifting. Then the 60 to 130, 13.22, which I also think is better than we've done before as well. All right, so here's the recap of the 45 to 120 and the 60 to 130. In both categories, we got really close to dropping an entire half second. Now, the racers, people who race, you can comment below and let me know, but I thought when I read it takes like a good amount to even drop off just 1/10 of a second. So being that we almost dropped 5/10 of a second, it's pretty cool to see that our money is giving us some type of performance benefit. And what's even cooler is that we were at almost a disadvantage of 400 feet higher, or calculated density altitude. So that means the conditions were worse for us. So it makes me wonder, what would the numbers be like if we were at the same density altitude as we were on the stock runs? But pretty happy to share this with the community so you guys know you are getting a bang for your buck. Next up, we're going to look at what the RPMs are like when we're cruising on the highway. All right, so these are going to be your RPMs when we're sitting in 10th gear at cruising speeds. So at 60 miles an hour, the stock diff is at 1250 and the hybrid is at 1450. At 65 miles an hour, you're sitting at 1350 and the hybrid diff is at 1500 RPMs. At 70, you're at 1480 and the hybrid is 1680. At 75, we're at 1550 RPMs and the hybrid diff is at 1780. Next, at 80 miles an hour, you're at 1650 on the stock diff, and the hybrid diff is at 1900 RPMs. All right, so let's talk about my review of the rear diff. Do I think it's worth it? I do. You can feel the difference when you're driving around town at half throttle even. Um, Price for performance, let's take my exhaust for example. The axle back alone, $3,300. The mid pipe, another $1,600 to $1,800. The rear diff, I got for $2,800 all in shipped. So it's a lot cheaper. Even if I add the $1,500 labor to put the rear diff in, it's still cheaper than the exhaust setup. So this is a really good mod if you want to be a little quicker and you don't want to go that route of putting on headers and worrying about emissions. I think this is definitely the mod to do for those guys. You get the performance increase, you get an OEM part, so you know it's going to work. And yeah, I would recommend this to anybody who wants to be a little quicker. Yes, you are going to take a little hit on the MPGs. The RPM seem to raise about 300 compared to the stock differential. So, you know, be prepared for that. But maybe if you're in an LC500 with a V8, I don't think you're really caring about the MPGs that much. And then, yeah, you saw the draggy. We cut off a 4/10ths of a second from the 6130 and the 45 to 120. And that's with us being in worse conditions than when we tested the stock differential. We're about 400 to 500 feet higher in density altitude. So yeah, maybe if the conditions were the same, we'd chop off another 1/10 of a second. Who knows? Maybe I'll run it again with better conditions and see what I get. But yeah, I'm hoping this is helpful to future LC500 owners or current LC500 owners who want to swap the rear diff. If you have any more questions, leave it in the comments below. I will get back to you. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll see you in the next video.